Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for joining me. For today's video, I have my February makeup purchases, so what I bought in the month of February, and I only purchased two things. Granted, they were kind of expensive, but if you watched my January makeup purchases, you can kind of know I hinted around what I was tempted to buy, and I bought those two items in the month of February because they were released in February, and I've been wanting them since they were announced, so I really knew that I wanted them. So without further ado, I'm just going to get into this video because I don't think this will be too long of a video, but I don't want it to be. So I bought both the Soft Glam palette from Anastasia as well as the Amrezy highlighter, and I'm gonna start with the Amrezy highlighter because I love them both, but this highlighter is amazing, and I wanted to try this to see how it compared to the Glow Kits and if it was any different because it has this like wavy texture. And I am wearing the highlighter today. You probably cannot tell, the lighting is kind of a little bit bright and, you know, weird in here right now, but yeah, this is what the highlighter looks like. I will say the overall texture and formula feels kind of similar to the Glow Kits, except it's not, if that makes sense. I don't know, but I really do like this, and I think, you know, it's a good highlighter, and I'm really happy I purchased this. I love the outer packaging. I love everything about this highlighter. I think it was well worth the money. Let's talk about the Soft Glam palette. So my original palette that I purchased had two identical shades in the palette, which was bizarre. And I thought I was going crazy because I was like, are these identical or are these, like, you know, different? And I'm just not seeing it. So they were indeed identical, and I did have to send that original palette back, which was kind of unfortunate. I kind of wish I could have kept it, but they needed it for control purposes or whatever. But I did get my new palette, and I have the correct shades. But it's funny because the batch code of the shades that had the two identical shades and the batch code of my new palette are the same. So when I got the new palette, I was like, wait, is this going to be like another, you know, palette that has two shades in it? But it didn't, thankfully. But this is what the inside of the palette looks like. I absolutely love this palette. I would say when Anastasia kind of said that it would be similar to the Modern Renaissance palette, and I wanted to believe that because they said that the Subculture palette was the sister palette of the Modern Renaissance, which I love the Subculture palette. I know a lot of people don't. So when they said that the formula of this was supposed to be identical to the Modern Renaissance palette, I was like, excuse me, because I love that palette and I need this one, and I was gonna buy this anyways. So I will say the formulas are pretty much the same between the Soft Glam and the Modern Renaissance palette. So if you like the formula of the Modern Renaissance palette, you will love this palette. I know there are some eyeshadows in here from the Modern Renaissance that are also in this palette. So if you already have the Modern Renaissance palette and you know, don't really want to have the same shades in other palettes, you might not want to get this just because there are, I think, 3 or 4 shades that are the same as the Modern Renaissance palette. But I love this palette, and I'm happy that I have, you know, the same shade in both palettes, because in my Modern Renaissance palette, I've almost hit pan on the shadows, or, you know, they're some of my favorite shadows anyways, so I don't mind having, you know, both, shades in both palettes. But yeah, that's everything that I purchased in the month of February. I am really happy with my purchases. I feel like the money was well spent, and as far as my January makeup purchases goes, I feel like the money was well spent in there too, because I'm using the Stila glitter every single day, pretty much, and I just overall love everything that I purchased. So yeah, I did want to mention in the month of February, I canceled my Play by Sephora box, which I'm actually really happy about, because I was just realizing I wasn't using the products that were coming in the box, and it was kind of a waste of money. I was only using like 1 or 2 products, which, you know, for $10 a month, it doesn't seem like much, but when you times that by 12, that's over, you know, $120 and then whatever tax and stuff. So I was spending well over $120 a year on products that I either was neglecting, I just wasn't using, products that I just didn't like, and passing on, or just, you know, products that I didn't want to use. So they were just kind of piling up, and I figured I might as well cancel it. I can always re-sign up if I want to. It's not, you know, like a, you know, permanent thing. You know, it's always kind of going to be there. So I just feel like for now I'm just, you know, canceling it and then using up the samples that I have and only buying things that I really truly want, because that's one thing about the Play by Sephora box. I liked it, but at the same time I never knew what I was going to get. And sure, you know, if I got like an eye cream or something, I would use it, I would, you know, like it, but at the end of the day I never really knew what I was getting. And, you know, I don't know, I feel like I would rather know what I'm buying rather than, you know, getting like a moisturizer that I can't use because it's gonna break me out or something. But yeah, thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. Please take a moment and subscribe down below if you have not done so already, and be sure to follow me on my social medias, which are linked down below as well as at the end of the video here. So I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.